The dawn of the 20th century. America is changing in ways never thought possible. Cities explode outwards. Booze fuels a criminal underworld. Millions head north to escape poverty. Violence erupts. America is about to become the richest nation on earth. We are pioneers and trailblazers. We fight for freedom. We transform our dreams into the truth. Our struggles will become a nation. For the first time, more Americans live in urban areas than rural. Cities become a symbol for decadence and danger. Jazz, cabaret, liquor.
It will take the shirt off your back. It should be whipped out of the land of America with a whip of scorpions.
Billy Sunday, retired baseball player, reformed drinker, the most famous preacher in the country.
I go to a young man up on the scaffold.
America has a booze problem.
Drink! You will affect all.
At its peak, there's a saloon for every 300 people, 20 times more than today. 50% of all crime involves alcohol.
When you come staggering home, cussing right and
Billy
left,
Sunday isn't the only one who thinks alcohol is ruining America. Religious groups rally. Industrialists say it affects productivity. Women campaign against drunk men beating up their wives. Alcohol is the crystal meth of its day. For many, a total ban is the only solution. On January 16, 1919, the 18th Amendment to the Constitution is ratified. Prohibition makes the manufacture and sale of alcohol illegal.
This period in the early 20th century just captured a whole swirl of desire to kind of rein in what's happening, shape it, come up with new policies that will ensure that people will get along, they will live virtuous lives. So Prohibition is this grand experiment.
But Prohibition also creates a nation of criminals. This is one of them. Willie Carter Sharp, 26, thrill seeker, outlaw. They call her the rum-running queen. It's 1928. Prohibition is in its 8th year.
It was the excitement that got me. We were mostly kids who liked the excitement. Cars scattering, dashing along the streets.
Behind her is a convoy of moonshine. Franklin County, Virginia is one of the biggest moonshine producers in the country. Bootleg liquor headed across the county line. Sharp's job, decoy, to distract the feds. In Franklin County, 99 residents out of 100 are thought to be involved. Secret stills are everywhere. Moonshine is flooding across the country. 100 million gallons a year. Even the president has a private wine cellar.
It seems so ridiculous. Anyone would ever tell you, you cannot legislate morality. You certainly can't stop people from drinking. People need a drink at the end of the day.
Outrunning the cops is the new extreme sport. Locals witness Carter Sharp in action.
I saw her go right through our town. There was a federal car after her. They were trying to shoot down her tires. She was driving at 75 miles an hour. She got away.
She gets away because of this. An ordinary car souped up for more horsepower. A supercharger rams additional air into the cylinders. The result? America's first muscle cars. They're so popular, they kickstart a new national pastime, stock car racing. Even today, there's a driving maneuver called the bootleg turn. But there's a darker side to bootlegging. The illegal liquor trade is worth tens of billions in today's money. And it's not Willie Carter Sharp who's in charge. It's gangsters. Organized crime has a stranglehold stretching across the country. Lucky Luciano in New York, Frank Chichi DeMaio, Kansas City, Joseph Ironman Artizzoni in LA, the Licavoli family, Detroit, Harry Rosen, Philadelphia, Charles King Solomon, Boston, and in Chicago, the most notorious gangster of all, Al Capone. He earns over $100 a minute from illegal alcohol. That's $1,500 today. But his luck is about to change. (2122) North Clark Street, headquarters of Capone's bitter rival, George Bugs Moran. February 14th, 1929. Two men in police uniform arrive. Normally, the cops leave without arrests after a quick payoff. But this isn't a normal day, and these aren't regular cops. What happens on Valentine's Day 1929 will change the course of Prohibition in America. Chicago, 1929. More than half the city's cops are on the take. In a North Side garage, 7 gangsters are lined up. They think it's routine, but today is no shakedown. Behind them, a group of men arrive, 2 carrying Thompson submachine guns. It's the most notorious slaying in mob history. The question is, who's behind the hit? The police or Al Capone? Detectives and photographers flood the scene. This shocking picture will appear in newspapers around the U.S. This is what Prohibition has come to. America has had enough. The federal government is forced to act. Major Calvin Goddard, methodical, clinical, weapons expert. Pioneer of a brand new science, ballistic forensics. For the first time, vital clues like bullet casings at a murder scene can be analyzed. Goddard's work leads to one of the first forensic crime labs in America. It will revolutionize the work of the FBI. His job, to find out who is behind the St. Valentine's Day massacre. When a gun fires, it leaves marks on the bullet casing as unique as a fingerprint. By analyzing casings at the murder scene, Goddard establishes that just 2 Tommy guns were fired. Neither is a police gun. Everything points to Capone. But convicting Capone of murder won't be easy. He has an alibi. He was in Florida at the time. They'll have to get him on a different charge. Frank Wilson, accountant, a very different kind of crime buster. He's an agent of the Bureau of Internal Revenue in D.C. He's going after Capone on tax evasion. In 1913, the 16th Amendment gives the federal government the right to tax personal income. Even criminals have to pay taxes. Capone is one of the richest men in the country. He should be paying 25% tax. Between 1925 and 1929, he pays nothing.
The defendant himself had no bank accounts, kept no book records of activities, bought no property in his own name. He conducted all his financial dealings with currency.
To secure a conviction, Wilson needs to prove Capone has an income on which he is paying no tax. He uncovers a ledger, confiscated from a business called the Hawthorne Smoke Shop, thought to be a Capone front. It's a detailed record of a gambling business. But no taxes have been paid on the income from this business. If Wilson can establish a direct link with Capone, he may be able to nail the nation's most notorious criminal on tax evasion. Wilson studies the ledger, but can't connect it to Capone. Then, a breakthrough. The handwriting.
A careful comparison of the handwriting in the ledger with specimens from various employees of the Capone organization established that the handwriting belonged to the managers and the cashier of the Hawthorne Smoke Shop.
The handwriting proves Capone's connection to the business. It's the vital evidence. On October 18, 1931, Al Capone is found guilty of tax evasion and sentenced to 11 years in prison.
Frank Wilson found out that he was not paying his taxes. And it's an odd thing, this man who had done all these other things, ordered the execution of lots of people, was responsible for the murder of people, and they get him on tax evasion.
Tax is no small matter. Prohibition has been a disaster. It has massively increased the stranglehold of organized crime. It's cost the government billions in lost tax revenue. Gangsters like Capone have become rich at America's expense. But now, more than ever, the government needs cash. The stock market crash in 1929 has brought the economy to its knees. The government is broke. A levy on alcohol is a solution. On December 5th, 1933, Prohibition is abolished. Killed by the need for cold, hard cash. It's an extraordinary U-turn. The only time in history an amendment to the Constitution is repealed. The 3 decades of economic boom, fueled by oil, cars, and the rapid growth of megacities, are now over. The country has hard times ahead.